The Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network welcomes you to the following presentation of the Minnesota State High School League.
2 to 3, 100 Fritos. Ball gets inside for Bjorkman. Bjorkman inside, dunks. Parker Bjorkman, a shot. Block on front. They They did it!
Something's coming. Something's coming. Yeah. Something's coming. Something's coming. Something's coming. Let the games begin. Come walk in my shoes. I done paid all my dues. I got something to prove. All in, nothing to lose. I was born for this. From day one I wanted it. We come too far to quit. Ain't no stopping it. I was born for this. From day one I wanted it. We come too far to quit. Ain't no stopping it. Ain't no stopping it. Ain't no stopping it. Ain't no stopping it. Let the games begin.
And a very good evening. Welcome from Chaska High School. You're watching the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network for tonight's boys basketball matchup featuring two 1-0 heavyweights, the Chaska Hawks and the visiting Eastview Lightning. I'm joined tonight by Eric Krauscher, and we are getting ready to get underway here between Chaska and Eastview. Eric, just about to tip things off, but first thing you notice when you look down the lineup for Eastview is size. They will dominate Chaska in that category tonight.
Well, you know, the one thing you look at last year's senior class, a lot of talent across the board, a lot of guys who did little things, but Parker Bjorkland was that rebounding force, both offensively and defensively.
Yep.
Who is going to be that guy who helps Cole Nicholson out, or is it all five guys?
Yep.
This is going to be a big one to see kind of how they handle that with the size of Eastview.
Chaska head coach Dana Coleman will go with the same starting five that he went with in the season opening win on Saturday. It'll be Cole Nicholson tipping it off against Stephen Crowell to get things going tonight. The 6'10 Crowell wins it back to his own side, but Spencer Getz recovers for Chaska, and we are underway. The Hawks donning the purple uniforms at home tonight, working left to right. Zach Lee has it on the bottom side of your screen. He dishes it over for Nicholson. Nicholson takes a stutter step, steps inside the lane, finds Coleman on the far end. Coleman's three is too short. That doesn't even find the rim, and Zach Lee rebounds, but his toe hits the line. Out of bounds the call, and Eastview will get their first offensive possession with 17:42 left. Here comes Isaac Raspberry, the only senior on the Eastview roster, wearing number 13. He gets the call to guard tonight for Paul Getz and the Eastview Lightning. Raspberry drives in, misses his layup, but gets the rebound and puts it back for the first points of the game. Here come the Hawks. Zach Leah running the one for Chaska this evening. He crosses the timeline. He'll be picked up by Ryan Thisson at the point. Leah picks up his dribble, finds Nicholson off the right side. Now back up top for the junior Coleman, who swings it over for this sophomore, Spencer Getz. Now back to Leah in the corner. Leah drives in, works through some contact, puts one up off the window. It's no good. Ball winds up back in his hands. Stephen Crowell blocks away a second chance. The ball trickles out of bounds, and it'll be Chaska ball.
Well, we've already seen size the first couple of possessions, offensive rebound, block shot right there. He's just going to sit underneath the basket. He's got nobody to guard.
The Hawks faced Crowell last year in this matchup. He put up 10 points, all in the first half. You were on the call for that game with me over in Eastview a year ago tomorrow, it will be.
Contrasting halves there. Eastview dominated the first half. Chaska stayed around. Chaska found themselves in the second half.
Here's Leah at the point, loses the ball, but Coleman's there to recover. Coleman takes the baseline, dishes to Nicholson in the far corner. Nicholson loses it. He tried to go behind the back. Raspberry will get a steal. Here comes the Lightning. Raspberry dribbles up right in front of the Chaska bench, crosses over. Picked up by Krinos. Spins it inside for Crowell. Crowell posting up against Nicholson. Spin move. Nicholson putting a body on him, but Crowell is able to put it off the glass and spin it in 4-0 Eastview.
Well, what we saw last year from him was once he got inside, he's not afraid to go up and early on there. He's got the height advantage. He's using his body to get underneath the basket pretty easy then.
When you're 6'10", it doesn't take much to get that ball up to the rim. As Nicholson jacks up a three, this one's too long. Getz battling for the rebound, but he's out by Isaac Raspberry. Raspberry off to the right side once again, gives it off for Jalen James, the Egan transfer. Came in this season for his senior year. Here's Crowell inside the paint. Now for Mahacek. Mahacek, check that. Misses his shot long, gets the rebound, pushes for Leah. Leah takes it up with the right hand, crosses over to his left. Nicholson steps in, behind the back, trying to find Krinos. Krinos is guarded though. Now Eastview playing some solid defense here so far. Zach Leah goes up and under, gets the first bucket of the game for the Hawks.
When he's going to be, Zach's going to have to be the guy that takes that next step. I know he had a great AAU year. Really excited to see where he takes that here this high school season.
Down the other way, Ryan Thyssen. Entry pass now for Mahacek. Mahacek misses his shot and picks up a foul as he's trying to block out Spencer Getz. First foul of the game is against Tate Mahacek.
That's a great sign for Spencer Getz. You know, when he came in last year, he played like a freshman, but you could see the physical tools that he had. He might not be the 6'6" guy you're hoping for at power forward, but he's going to box out. He's going to do the little things.
Yep. Krinos from the corner. His three is off. Krinos struggled shooting from beyond the arc on Saturday afternoon. He takes it in now as fouled. It'll get 2 free throws. Connor Krinos held to just 6 points on Saturday in the season opening win against Highland Park.
Number change.
Yep.
New jerseys. You got to break them in a little bit.
New jerseys for the Hawks this year. They'll be debuting their black uniforms on Thursday night right here on the CHBN as we take on Eastview. Section 2 4A matchup, or I'm sorry, Prior Lake on Thursday.
We're talking size tonight. We're going to be talking size on Thursday.
Oh, yeah. Robert Jones stands probably over 6'10" now. Dawson Garcia approaching that as well. For the Lakers, and now back on the floor, here comes Eastview after the missed free throw from Krinos. It's 4-2 Lightning. Crowell outside the arc. Streaking Mahacek inside. Elects to give it off to Raspberry. Raspberry pulls up from about 10 off the front iron, trickles around to the back. Spencer Getz gets the rebound and gives it away for Zach Leah. Leah hesitates, passes off for Nicholson from beyond the arc. Cole Nicholson's shot is no good. Eastview gets the board. Tate Mahacek. Mahacek averaged 10 points a game last year. Put up 20. Check that. Put up 13 in the game last year against Chaska. And he has it inside now. He puts up a layup. No good. Tips it out. Nicholson's there for Chaska to grab it. Under 14 to play here in the first half of this basketball game. Nicholson takes up and under and spins it in. A wonderful moving shot from Cole Nicholson for his first points of the night. Here comes Eastfield. Crossing the timeline. Isaac Raspberry. 5'11" senior. The only senior on the roster for Eastview tonight. Here's Thyssen. Thyssen enters, puts up a floater, and gets it to drop. 6'4", Eastview. Krinos outside, gives it to Nicholson. Hawks pushing it around. Leah jacks up a college distance three and hits it. Chaska takes the lead off the Zach Leah long ball. Eastview now. Raspberry takes inside, guarded by Krinos, dishes it off from Mahacek. That one's giving me issues. Now Crowell inside, going against Nicholson. He puts up a shot that hits off the back rim. And Nicholson grabs the board. Nicholson comes down the other way now. Leah feeling it from NBA range. This one's just a bit too short. Here comes Raspberry with numbers. Nicholson's going to pick him up inside. A lot of contact, but Raspberry somehow gets it to go through. Eastview back on top.
Yeah, Chaska, 6 3-pointers early on, 1 for 6 here. You know, and some of that size inside, you feel like you got to shoot to extend that defense.
Leah behind the back takes it in, gives it off for Nicholson, who comes in now to the lane from about 6 feet, and he puts it up with the right hand and gets it to fall.
You can see Crowell here is a little gassed. He didn't even go up for an attempt to a block or anything like that.
He came out the first couple minutes and looked like he was able to get up and down, but now it looks like he's needing a little bit of air. He has the ball now outside the arc, gives it off for Machacek. Raspberry back with it. Now Crowell. Going against Nicholson. Right-handed hook is no good. Rebound by the Lightning. No, Machacek gives it for Raspberry, who finds it over for Jalen James. James takes inside off the glass, and it's good. Jalen James for 2.
Yeah, Jalen James, his dad is the Concordia St.
Yep.
Paul. Like you said, live in Egan.
Yep.
Leaving my Egan.
Yeah, you're Egan. I don't know how you make that trip so often. It's
3 times a week.
got to be a hike. Ben Coleman with it at the point now. Finds Nicholson off to the right side. Looked like he might have traveled with it, but he gets away and ends up getting a pair out of it. Approaching 11 minutes left here, first half. Ryan Paul and Eric Krauscher with you on the GSH Asset Management Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. Eastview, offensive set here. Jalen James looked like he might have gotten pushed off the 3 ball. He misses it, but Stephen Crowell grabs it. Now they find a streaking Ryan Thyssen who puts it through for a pair.
Yeah, like what I see from Eastview. I mean, they're not just looking at one guy. I think all 5 guys might have points here.
Yep. Good offensive flow from the Lightning, and Paul gets his 5 so far. Nicholson tries a long one and connects. Hawks take a lead, 14-12.
That's what's so tough about Cole is that he's physical inside. He works you, and then he goes right outside, and you can't get out there.
We talked about it last year numerous times on this broadcast as Crowell goes underneath and is fouled. Nicholson, you play him down on the post, and he'll beat you down there, and then you pull him out beyond the arc, and he can still dominate from beyond the arc. He's really an all-around player. Standing at 6'6" on the roster, headed to Northern Colorado next fall.
Yeah, and the thing with Cole, I mean, what we saw last year is when he gets deep into the second half, he's got to not just rest on that three-pointer. Right. He's going to play a lot of minutes this season, and those legs just aren't there, but, he works hard.
His brother Brady Nicholson onto the floor, has it now, loses it. Brady, the freshman, stands at 6'8". That's right, freshman, 6'8". Nicholson with a steal here, gives it off to the sophomore Luke Strazzani. Younger brother of Alex Strazzani, who graduated from Chaska 2 years ago, was a part of that state tournament team as Zach Leah cadets from long range, extending that Chaska lead to 17-12. As I said, Luke Strazzani, the younger brother of Alex, who was the football quarterback here for a couple of years, and was on that state tournament team when Chaska was defeated by 31-0 Champlin Park at the Target Center 2 years ago.
Little different look from Luke with Alex.
Yeah.
Not as red a hair. He got some frame to build into.
Right? Yep. We'll also see Jack Frick on the floor, another sophomore tonight. He has it here wearing number 13 in purple. Frick now from the far side. Frick for 3. Timeout on the floor. Paul Getz wants to chat about it.
Well,
Hawks have an 8-point lead.
A 10-0 run will generally make somebody talk about it. But, the thing what Chaska's doing here now is they're not just relying on the three-pointer. They're starting inside, kicking it out, moving the ball a little bit better around. And turns out an open 3 is a lot better than a contested 3.
That's right, and Chaska on that 10-0 run here. It's a short timeout, so we'll keep it right here. But Dana Coleman said prior to the season that Chaska was going to have to be physical on all aspects of this game. They don't have necessarily the size, as you alluded to in the pregame show. You got Cole down low, but other than that, you got Spencer Getz who will give you physical play, but he's not the biggest guy on the floor.
Well, and playing physical doesn't just mean underneath the basket. That means getting out on the perimeter, bodying the guy, making it tough for him to shoot, to drive the lane. And you got a guy like Zach Leah who has really grown into his body here. He can face guard somebody and make it difficult for him as well.
We saw Zach on the offensive side of the ball on Saturday. He put a poster dunk down as Jalen James is called for an offensive foul. And you might remember if you were watching on Saturday, Zach Leah really can jump out of the gym. I saw him in a couple open gym sessions this offseason, and wow is all I have to say. That kid can really get up there.
But we saw some flashes of that last year where he was able to finish little finger rolls and stuff like that high above the rim.
Nicholson inside. He spins around, but yeah, he took a couple too many stutters. A travel and a turnover.
It's, again, positive to see every time Cole catches the ball inside 10 feet. I want to see more of that this year. Really push out the defense.
Zach Spann has the ball at the top, just checked in. We also will see Caden Scales for the first time tonight. He has it now. Over for Raspberry, now dumping it inside to Kroll. Kroll spins around. He will be called for a travel. So 3 consecutive turnovers here on 3 consecutive possessions. We go under the 8-minute mark. Chaska still holding that 8-point lead. Here's Jack Frick with it on the Hawk logo. Finds Cole Nicholson. Now Zach Leah pokes out. We'll get another offensive foul. We're going the other way. It'll be Jack Frick, I believe, for an illegal screen. Raspberry across the timeline, goes to his left side again, or goes to his right side again. Zach Leah gets him there. Now he's on the other side of the floor, gives it over for Caden Scales, junior. Scales takes it to the rack and finishes. Cutting it to a 6-point Hawk lead. 20-14 here in the first half. Luke Strazzanti with it. Strazzanti finds Frick streaking. Out to Leah. Another one. Heat check for Zach Leah, and he got it! 9-point lead. Here comes Cole Nicholson. A steal by Eastview. Pushing it ahead. Jalen James goes up. He's hacked by Luke Strazzanti, and he'll get 2 free throws.
Yeah, and with Zach Leah, if you can get that outside production from him, you know, obviously that's going to open up the lane for him going down the year. So, yeah, he was upset when he missed that NBA 3.
Yeah.
He's 3 of 4, so maybe that's why. The only one he's missed.
James, the Egan native and transfer. At the free throw line, the first one finds its way through. Second one, off. Gets the board for the Hawks. Leah, Nicholson at the top. Back over to Zach. He goes on the baseline, right hand. Finds a wide open Luke Strazzanti in the corner for 3. It's too much. Crino's out, scrap for the rebound. Here come the Lightning with some numbers. Up for Scales. Scales finds James in the corner. He bobbled it, has to give it up. Back down low. Now for Spann. Zach Spann fades away, misses. Rebound by Nicholson. Steal by Thyssen. Thyssen comes down and will try to put it through. Looks like he tried to dunk that one. Not enough steam though. 2 points the same way. Krinos, the senior for Chaska, finds it over for Leah. Dumps it in for Nicholson now. Nicholson backing down. Goes up. Finishes. 25-17. Timeout. Dana Coleman. It'll be a short timeout. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, Chaska 25-17 lead.
GSH Asset Management is a proud sponsor of the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. Based in the heart of Chaska, GSH is your one-stop shop for all of your wealth management needs. Visit us online at gshassetmanagement.com or call today at 952-556-1311. GSH Asset Management, building strategies for your financial future.
We are back from Chaska High School. The Hawks with a 25-17 lead on Eastview. Chaska opened up the season with a dominating performance in a win over Highland Park on Saturday. Your alumni
Yep.
fell 71-39 against Chaska. Nicholson led the scoring with 24 of his own. Zach Leah followed up with 10. In this one, Eastview will have the ball coming out of the Chaska timeout. Each team has 4 timeouts remaining. And Caden Scales comes down running the point for Eastview on this possession. He's guarded by Krinos, has to get rid of it, or the 5 seconds will be called. Jalen James, Scales, inside for Crowell. Crowell going to be bodied to get by Nicholson. He backs down, spins around, puts it up, and good. $5:19 to go here. A 6-point game. Krinos from the top. Good! Krinos finds one. Good to see for the Chaska senior who's struggled shooting so far this season. Scales gives it over for Thyssen. Back up for Scales. Shot fake. Returns for Thyssen. Now inside for Crowell. Crowell over his head. Gonna try to back down Nicholson. Nicholson takes a flop and they'll get the call. Nicholson knows how to get that call better than anybody else. Probably was a charge, but I'm sure Cole Nicholson sold it just a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's a non-call at that point.
Could be.
When a guy goes down like that, a lot of times you'll see play on.
Yep.
But referee is adamant about the arm there.
One of the officials tonight, Chaska native Chris Brown, on the baseline right now as Leah pulls up from about 13. His shot is short. A scrap for it. Nicholson's going to get called as he put an elbow into Thyssen's face as they were strapping for the loose ball. Just under 4.5 left. Pretty good flow so far.
Yeah.
Scales crossing the timeline after the side inbound. Machacek sets a screen but rolls off of it. Now Nicholson picks him up. Crowell exited. An elbow jumper from Thyssen is no good, but we're going to get a call on, I believe, Connor Krinos. And it will be Connor Krinos picking up the foul, and it'll be 2 free throws for Ryan Thyssen, the 6'5 junior. 6'5 might be a bit generous.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
First one is through.
Machacek has definitely more than an inch on him.
Yeah.
It looks like a nice wing player. Good three.
Second free throw trickles out. Solid looking bodies all around the Eastview lineup.
And like you said, most of them have another year left at least.
All but one, and that one is Isaac Raspberry. We'll see Nick Vermeulen, the 6-foot junior, on the floor wearing number 3. Cole Nicholson goes up, a lot of contact, nothing whistled for. Chaska fans wanting something called. Strap for it on the floor. Nicholson's going to go at it with Raspberry. Span, rather. And we'll get a jump ball. Lightning will get it off the tie-up, and Brady Nicholson, the freshman, will check in for Dana Coleman.
Gives his brother his first little breather here. 3:46 left in the first half.
And with that, the 6'8" height of Brady Nicholson checking in. He'll get matched up against Crowell, who stands 2 inches taller on the program at 6'10". Eastview struggling to get it in. They need a timeout, but they end up finding a way. Machacek comes away. It's loose, though. Vermeulen has it. Off for Crowell from long range. The big man hits from deep. Yep.
Everyone loves to be out there.
Any way you can. Cutting it to 5 with 3.5 remaining here. First half. Krinos all by himself in the corner. He throws it up and puts it through. Connor Krinos a tray. Outside on the other end, Thyssen has the same shot, but he misses it. A tie-up between Brady Nicholson and Stephen Crowell. We get a whistle, and Brady Nicholson's going to get a call.
Yeah, but you like that physical play. He's not just giving the big guy a shot. Went up with him. That break was 34 seconds for Cole.
He re-enters as Brady Nicholson, his brother, picks up his first foul of the night. Vermeulen from the wing all by himself. No good. Nicholson snags the board for Chaska. Here comes Zach Leah crossing over. Back up top for Nicholson. Now Strazzani on the far side. Strazzani enters. A lot of contact. Working through. He stepped out of bounds. And it'll be Eastview ball. Substitution will be Ben Coleman. Some siblings on this team from that state tournament team 2 years ago. Ben's older brother Andrew started for that team. Now at Northern State, playing basketball. Was the leading scorer in their season opener a couple weeks ago. Here's a three for Eastview. Caden Scales. Back to a 5-point game. 2 minutes, 40 seconds left here. Nicholson stutter step, could have been a travel, goes inside, spins it around and through. Cole Nicholson, good drive and points.
One thing I always loved about Cole the last couple years watching is his ability to move differently down underneath the basket. Very fluid.
Crowell goes up and under, spun around Nicholson, put it through. It's been fun to watch Cole develop. He saw some varsity time as a freshman, very much so as a sophomore, and then last year as a junior, a captain. And now obviously headlining this Chaska roster in his final year of high school basketball. We approach 2 minutes. Zach Leah, the junior, over for Krinos. Krinos works through some contact, finds Nicholson. Nicholson bobbled it. Resets up top for Zach Leah. Leah crosses over, going against Thyssen. Now he's off for Ben Coleman. Ben Coleman goes under, finds Krinos in the corner. Shot fake, drives inside, goes up off the window, and good for two.
Krinos with 8 since coming back in.
Good to see for the Chaska senior. Now Crowell looking a little bit gassed, stands outside the arc, looks for an option. He'll find a handoff for Caden Scales. Now it's Thyssen. Lost it out of bounds. It'll be staying in the hands of Eastview though.
The thing with Krinos, he's one of those kids that streaky shooter, but you can just sense that when he made that first shot, a sigh of relief.
Yep,
and I even saw Coach Coleman with a big pump of the fist.
Yep. We'll see Chanhassen later in the year in conference play, but I went over and watched their game against Waconia the other night as Crowell hits from the baseline. Compare Krinos and Carson Halawadi. You get a pretty good matchup. Halawadi might beat him in the shooting, but Connor Krinos probably beats Halawadi in the driving ability. Two very good basketball players. We'll see a good matchup against Chaska and Chanhassen later this season. Here's Zach Leah now as we go under 60 seconds. He stands right in front of us, finds it over on the other side of the court for Connor Krinos. Krinos going to be brought out by Caden Scales. Now the referee waves his hand, signaling he's close enough to be guarded. Leah drives against contact, has his pocket pick, but Cole Nicholson's going to go for it on the floor. Bodies all over the place. Nicholson scrapping for it, no whistle. Now we get a whistle and a jump ball. It was Tate Monchacek and Cole Nicholson scrapping at it for a good 5, 6, 7 seconds. Didn't have a whistle. Nicholson displeased. We'll get an inbound pass right in front of us. Connor Krinos will stand and get it in for Chaska with 32 2/10 remaining.
All the timeouts you heard in the background were not from a coach or a player. Parents are trying
Scott
to
Nicholson, yep.
trying to get the timeout call.
Now we're screaming for the clock to start. Joe Happ over there, a little bit late on the uptick. 20 seconds left though, nothing lost there. 5-point game, 35-30. Nicholson stands up top, guarded by Monchacek. Now he falls back. Hawks holding for the final shot. Zach Leah now, trapped, foul. Quick one by Ryan Thyssen.
They had a couple fouls to give, so no free throws. They still have one more foul to give here.
7 seconds left. Nicholson catches the inbound, pulls up from long range. It's no good. Rebound by Crowell. Crowell gets it away, throws it out of bounds. Chaska's going to get a shot, as they should. Yeah, now they make the call. So with 1 4/10 left, Chaska's going to get a chance for a clock beater.
That extra couple seconds. Thanks to Mr. Happ.
Thank you, Mr. Happ. Nicholson from the Hawk throws it up off the front iron. We go to the break. After a 33-minute first half, Chaska leads by 5. When we return, we'll have the final 18 minutes. This isn't hockey. The final 18 minutes from the Chaska High School Gymnasium. We'll be right back. You're watching high school basketball.
GSH Asset Management is a proud sponsor of the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. Based in the heart of Chaska, GSH is your one-stop shop for all of your wealth management needs. Visit us online at gshassetmanagement.com or call today at 952-556-1311. GSH Asset Management, building strategies for your financial future.
There's a better, brighter day ahead for patients who visit St. Francis Rehabilitative Services. Our wide-ranging, innovative, and compassionate care offers adults and children the services and support that inspire them to a higher quality of life. Among our services is our comprehensive sports medicine program, specializing in preventing, diagnosing, and treating sports-related injuries, helping you return to the activities that fuel your passion. St. Francis Rehabilitative Services, with clinic locations in Chaska, Shakopee, and Savage.
And we're back, reaching the end of halftime. Ryan Paul with Eric Krauscher on the CHPN. It's a 5-point game after 18 minutes of play. Eric, first impressions on that first half?
Yeah, I mean, I thought, that 10-0 run obviously was really big. The lead never went underneath 5 at that point. Every time Eastview's tried to counter with something, Chaska's hit a 3 to kind of counter back. And so, I think Chaska, you just kind of keep working the ball down low.
Yep.
And that opens up the outside game for this team. There's a lot of options to shoot from outside. I'd like to see a couple early baskets from Zach Leah to get him going again.
Yep.
He had 11 early and then was quiet the rest. So I think they just really need to, keep working inside, outside.
It'll be Eastview getting the ball to start off the second half. We will see the same starting lineup for both teams. Jalen James for Eastview. It'll be Jalen James, Tate Machacek, Isaac Raspberry, Stephen Crowell, and Ryan Thyssen. For Dana Coleman and Chaska, Zach Leah, Connor Krinos, Ben Coleman, Cole Nicholson, and Spencer Getz. We're underway in the second half. Crowell has it outside the arc. Crowell had 11, a team high in that first half. Machacek down low. Over for Raspberry, the only senior tonight for Paul Getz. Chaska students coming out loud to start of the second half. 30 seconds in. Here's Machacek. Backing down against the sophomore Spencer Getz. Machacek off the window, rolls around, no good. Rebound Cole Nicholson. Nicholson comes across now, working right to left for this second half of action. Still a 5-point contest. Leah had 11 in that first half. Throws it away. Right to his former AAU teammate, Jalen James, who comes down. Gives it off for Machacek. Machacek near side. Back to James. James stutters and we'll get a whistle. A foul down low. It'll be Ben Coleman.
Cole Nicholson.
Nicholson, rather.
Yeah, and I think, not 100% sure, but I noticed that you got Thiessen now on Leah. That might have been a change. Another little bigger body, more physical.
Crowell from the free throw line. Backs out, back to Thiessen. Dumps it for Crowell. Crowell's arm was pulled by Coleman. 2 free throws ahead for the big man.
Good foul.
Yep. Crowell stands at the stripe. 16:46 left. The dog pound in full force as he drains the first one. Second one, up and good. So 2 for 2 for Crowell, starting off the half for scoring with 2 points. Back to a 3-point Chaska lead. Zach Leah and Nicholson going wire to wire. And another turnover, another steal for Jalen James. Here comes James now, across the point, spins around, picked up by Krinos. Now Krinos will switch off and guard Raspberry. Crowell on the elbow, now backs out. He's looking to set something up, fakes to Machacek. Crowell's 3 is up and off. Rebound Spencer Getz. Leah takes it in, off the glass, yep. You talked about it as we came back from the break. You want to see Zach Leah get some quick scoring, and that is just what we were looking for from Zach Leah. 5-point game. Here comes Raspberry, guarded tightly by Krinos. He spins away, though. Now Zach Leah is going to pick up Thyssen. Thyssen gives it over for James, back out for Raspberry. Raspberry takes it inside the paint, kicks out for James. James stutter step, steps in, backs out for Machacek. Now they enter it in. Here's Crowell bodying against Nicholson. Good matchup all night. Crowell goes up with the left and somehow gets the hook to go. Turnaround from Stephen Crowell is good.
He's been very impressive.
Yep.
And, you look at his first game total, 28, and he's backed it up here so far.
He had 10 last year against Chaska. That game a year ago yesterday. Or a year ago tomorrow, rather. 10 points all in the first half, though. Krinos right in front of his own students. It's long. Nicholson wasn't there for the rebound. Here comes Raspberry. Raspberry by himself, hands off for Crowell, and they cut it to 1 point. Six-2 run to start out the half. Dana Coleman doesn't like what he sees. Cole Nicholson and squad will head over and talk about it. We'll be right back. You're watching high school basketball on the GSH Asset Management Broadcast Network.
GSH Asset Management is a proud sponsor of the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. Based in the heart of Chaska, GSH is your one-stop shop for all of your wealth management needs. Visit us online at gshassetmanagement.com or call today at 952-556-1311. GSH Asset Management, building strategies for your financial future.
We return here from Chaska High School. Hawks and Eastview Lightning doing battle in game number 2 of this Hawks season. We talked about it a little bit earlier, Eric, but on Thursday night we will see the Prior Lake Lakers come to town, a team that a team that we called last year in the section tournament. They played Edina, I believe, in that section semifinal. We called that game from Jefferson. What are we looking for on Thursday night as we face a very talented Prior Lake team?
Well, Prior Lake got 32 points from Dawson Garcia. Another, like you said, I think 6'11", can shoot, can pull you out, shoot the three, left-hander, can drive to the bucket. Robert Jones, big center under the basket. What Prior Lake really lacks is that consistent guard play. That hurt them last year in the section playoffs. Hurt them at the Breakdown Tip-Off Classic on Saturday. Didn't get a lot of points from their guard play, and so your Chaska's going to have to weather that inside game. Cole Nicholson's going to have to stay in the court and not pick up foul trouble.
Yep, and that's going to be a big storyline. Zach Leah takes it in, off the glass quickly. 2 points for Chaska, just like they drew it up. Foul trouble going to be probably one of the big points on Thursday night. It'll be a very, very good game. Should be a bloodbath right back here from Chaska High School. You'll be able to tune in same time, same place. Watch chbn.com. I'll be calling the game with North Star Hoops Jared Martinson, his first time on the broadcast. Excited to have him on Thursday night.
Well, and Jared's a guy that gets around and watches a lot of
basketball.
basketball, and so he'll have great analysis, not only those two teams, but just in general in basketball in Minnesota.
North Star Hoops, a great outlet for Minnesota high school basketball fans to check up on what's going around the state. Raspberry threw it right off of Krinos' foot as they couldn't find an inbound pass. Now they get it in, and Raspberry has it at the top of the key. He's picked up by Krinos. Krinos rolls off. Raspberry throws up a prayer. Doesn't get it to fall. 14-14 left. Pushing ahead. Krinos, nobody near him. Cannot connect, and Crowell boxes out for the board. 3-point game here. Jalen James catches, steps inside, going against Coleman. A lot of contact. Coleman's going to pick up a foul. Is Jalen James bodied inwards.
Yeah, and Ben's really learning this varsity level.
Yep.
You look at him, you look at the three other guys that have been off the bench. This is their first varsity, action outside of, Saturday. And so the biggest thing coming up from, JV or sophomore level is that speed. I mean,
you got it.
How you can get shots off easily at that level. Not as easy to get off at this level.
James heckled by the Chaska fans as he drains the second free throw. We go under 14 to play in regulation. Nicholson and Zach Leah going across, playing monkey in the middle. Now Nicholson finds it. He's going to try a three. That's off to the right. Crowell easily snags the rebound once again for Eastview. Here comes Raspberry. Stopped up by Nicholson. Nicholson tried to pick his pocket. Raspberry high off the window for two, and it's a tie game. Here comes Cole Nicholson. Picked up his dribble. Finds over for Krinos in the corner. Krinos pushes off. Takes the baseline over the hand of Crowell. Spencer grabs the board for Chaska on the offensive side, and he was fouled by Raspberry.
I like that possession, though. Connor didn't just rely on the three-pointer. He went to the hoop. So far here in the first almost 4.5 minutes, the only two made buckets are inside. Chaska's, like I said, work inside. It opens up the outside game, gets your confidence, your shooting going a little bit.
Eastview last year finished the season 12-17 overall. One of those losses coming to Chaska on the second game of the year as well. Here comes Raspberry now, goes behind the back into the corner for Thyssen. Thyssen inside, hesitation up and good. Chaden Eastview takes the lead.
That's Eastview's first lead since 12-10.
Yep. Krinos, Strazani, Nicholson down low. Into the corner for Leah. This one goes out of bounds off the fingertips of Ryan Thiessen, the senior captain.
Eastview's definitely picked up the defensive intensity.
Yep. Strazani, Nicholson, off the inbound. Now Zach Leah takes it in, dishes for the sophomore Strazanti. Back into the corner for Leah. Spencer Getz open from 12. His shot is off. Nicholson tries to swat it back in. Can't get it to drop. 12 and a half left. Here comes Raspberry with the lead. Raspberry spins inside. A wonderful move. And a pair for Isaac Raspberry.
Raspberry reminds me a lot of DJ Johnson from
Yes.
Eden Prairie last year.
Yep.
That energy guy.
Scrappy,
That's,
DJ Johnson was, one of Chaska's worst nightmares
God.
of last season. Strazani takes it in. Rebound. Nicholson hacked. Can't get it to drop. But
year before that too, he'd guard Miles.
You'd think that guys like that would struggle with the fouls, and he did have a couple of fouls. But sometimes that's what it takes. Is a hard foul or a foul that could have gone either way to really get the energy back into that lineup, and that is what he was on the floor for.
That's the same thing with Matt Eliason last year and the year before. Guys feed off that energy. They feed off that hustle, and you've seen it here in the second half. Raspberry's been everywhere, and Eastview definitely a different team right now.
They hold a 2-point lead after the Nicholson free throw. As you mentioned, we go back to Eden Prairie for a second. They are going to be a very good team this year, ranked as one of the top 5 in the preseason polls. Chaska will see them over the winter break in the tournament over Eden Prairie High School. We'll have that game for you on CHBN. They've got a trio of wonderful juniors in Drake Dobbs, Austin Enders, and Connor Christensen. As Crowell spins in, gets it to fall. That Eden Prairie team, Chaska beat them in the section final a couple of years ago, but they came back and took down Chaska last year in the semifinal. Here comes Zach Leah now. He takes it inside. Wide open Luke Strazani in the corner. It's good. Quickly back down. Here comes Scales. Back out now as Isaac Raspberry tries to set something up. Now Crowell outside the arc. He has one 3-pointer in the game so far. A 1-point lead. This one goes right off the melon of Zach Span, out of bounds. Chaska ball. Cole Nicholson going at it with Stephen Krall. Knowing these guys, going to school with them every day, Eric, these guys want to win. Cole has a very, very competitive attitude out on the basketball court. He's a wonderful kid. But when you put Cole on a basketball court, oh boy.
Well, we saw him as a sophomore in that Champlin Park game when he hit a couple back-to-back 3-pointers, lifted his arms to the crowd, got him going, and he's had that swagger to him his whole career.
Krinos takes it in. A lot of contact and a foul.
Well, just like we talked about intensity, we're seeing it here from Chaska. All of a sudden now they've got the momentum a little bit. Everyone's working a little hard. A couple scrappy plays made, and got a chance to tie the ball game.
Krinos from the charity stripe. First one, he hung it short. Could have tied the game. Has one more chance at it here with the second free throw. The Chaska senior second free throw is up and through, and we are tied up here with 10:47 left in this basketball game. Here come the Lightning. Raspberry swinging it around now. They find it over to Thyssen. Back to Raspberry on the far side. Now Crowell outside. Hands off for Raspberry. Raspberry goes up and in against Frick. Raspberry pushed off. Offensive foul. Hawks look at the basketball.
Yeah, Jack Frick comes onto the court, and he had to move around a lot there. They set a couple picks on him, but one thing I've seen from some of these younger guys, Strazanti, Frick, they move their feet very, very well on defense.
third. It was going to be the third foul against Raspberry, but instead they call a foul on Scales. Raspberry's going to sub out anyway as Jalen James re-enters. I believe that's what they just said.
Well, he whistled it on the offensive drive. So
Nicholson goes up, had it patted away from him. Now on the other side, Crowell gets the rebound off of the Thyssen miss. Thyssen gets it back underneath, can't finish again, and Nicholson gets the board. Pushing ahead for Strazzani. Strazzani goes, bounce pass to Krinos. Krinos up and under. Hawks take the lead. Krinos harassing Caden Scales. Now back around. Here's Thyssen. Thyssen has a pocket pick. Tapped around. Jack Frick finally comes away. Frick pushes ahead. Strazzani. We're going to man the point here for Chaska on this possession. The sophomore. Passes away for Zach Leah. Leah pulls up. Misses. 9.5 left. Chaska with a 2-point lead. Frick going to be called for a foul. Count the bucket for Caden Scales. And a chance to take the lead off of this free throw for the Eastview junior. Frick's second foul of the game. Frick's second foul of the game. Eastview takes the lead off of that free throw. Here comes Zach Lee now across. Krinos. Nicholson, 9 minutes, 10 seconds left. Nicholson takes it inside. Luke Strazzani with a hand in his face. This one's short. We're going to get a foul. I think it's going against Nick Vermeulen of Eastview, and it is. Jack Frick checks out after a quality couple minutes of playing time. Get's going to replace him. Sophomore for Dana Coleman. Nicholson catches the inbound pass from Zach Lee on the baseline. Nicholson takes it in, pushed away, spins around. He gets Zach Spann to jump, misses the shot though, and Stephen Crowell is going to come away with the rebound.
Yeah, it was a nice look for Cole. Did everything, just rimmed out.
James inside the arc against Strazzani. Bounce pass for Crowell. Nice looking play there from the Eastview 1-2 punch of Jalen James and Stephen Crowell.
What I'm most impressed with, he moves without the ball. Crowell does. He's filled the lane. He's had a couple transition buckets. Really nice player.
Krinos takes the left hand on the other side. Was fouled on the floor. It'll be the 6th foul of the game, or of the half on Eastview. Chaska has been approaching 5.
And Krinos has been aggressive to the hoop here after a couple early misses early in the half, so that's a good sign. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of height, but he's been able to use his body, switch things up.
Nicholson from 17 can't get it to fall. Right off the inbound. James wants it, gets it. Picked up by Luke Strazzani, hand in his face. Rolls off a screen. Jalen James puts up the left-handed floater. Carried it all the way in. Eastview ahead 52-47 with 8 minutes and 9 seconds left in regulation. Zach Lee, right to left. Guarded by Scales at the half-court line. Now Nicholson at the top. Krinos, hesitation, steps in. Strazzani, Nicholson, open, 3, no. Nicholson struggling to find his stroke. Now Krinos, hesitation, works through some contact, throws up a desperation shot, no good. Dana Coleman looking a little bit displeased with that shot selection. Nevertheless, Eastview comes away, 7:40 left. 52-47 the score. Here's Jalen James, almost lost it out of bounds. Gives it over for Spann, who returns it back to Jalen James. Strazzani rolls off a screen. James puts one up from the free throw line, banks it in, and it's a 54-47 lead for the Eastview Lightning. Timeout Dana Coleman. We're going to go to break real quick, and when we return, Eastview's on a roll. 7:20 left. We'll be right back.
GSH Asset Management is a proud sponsor of the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. Based in the heart of Chaska, GSH is your one-stop shop for all of your wealth management needs. Visit us online at gshassetmanagement.com or call today at 952-556-1311. GSH Asset Management, building strategies for your financial future.
There's a better.
We got 7:20 left. We're coming out of the Dana Coleman timeout. Eastview on a 54-47 streak.
Yeah, I mean, with Chaska here, they've gone cold here in the second half from three-point land. Like I said, it right out of the half, every time Eastview made a run, Chaska would make a couple three-pointers, and that hasn't. I think they've made one three-pointer here in the second half.
A whistle before the pass is inbounded. I think they get a whistle because Isaac Raspberry got a little bit too close for comfort as Krinos was trying to get it in. They give it to Getz in the backcourt. Now Zach Leah has it for Chaska. Krinos off to the near side, right in front of his students. Nicholson back to Zach Leah. Leah takes it along the left-hand side. He goes up, blocked, and a call. Leah was hacked in the air. As Tate Mahachek, the guilty party on this one. Leah's first of two free throws is good. Two for two for the Hawks junior. 54-49. The score. We go under 7 left. Raspberry throws it to nobody. He thought Jalen James was going to streak in, but instead James snuck out.
Everyone's looking at Raspberry, I think.
Yeah.
Don't think that pass was supposed to be there.
Nicholson inside. Lots of contact, no whistles. Gets battling for the rebound, grabs it, finds Leah. Leah goes in, hacked! 2 more free throws. Leah was mugged.
And Nicholson probably was too. If you remember that Orono game, there was
Oh
a lot
my.
of contact with
boy.
Omarosa, and Cole's kind of going, what more do I have to do?
You remember that game probably as well as I do. Jarvis Omersa, I feel like he played. We went to 3 overtimes that game. He had 4 fouls halfway through the second half and didn't foul out until there were about 30 seconds left in the third overtime.
And he didn't stop playing physical,
Right.
try to block every shot, every possession.
He's with the Gophers now. As Leah misses the back end of the free throws. 54-50, back to a 4-point game. Krinos picking up Raspberry at the timeline. Now James has it. James is guarded by Ben Coleman. James blows through, goes up off the glass. Good. 6-point game.
Yeah, and that's the last 6 from James. Doing a nice job getting into the lane, using that left hand.
Yep. Leah, Krinos outside the arc. Leah got poked in the eye as Caden Scales was going for it. We're going to shoot free throws here in the 1-and-1 bonus.
Yeah, Chaska after this will be in double bonus the rest of the way.
Yep, 9th foul against Eastview. Leah back to the free throw line, his 3rd trip in the last couple minutes here. We'll shoot the 1+, and he makes the first. A chance to bring it back to a 4-point game here. .609 remaining. 2 for 2 on the 1-and-1 for Zach Leah. Isaac Raspberry working around. Crowd getting into it. Raspberry dribbles around, gives it off for Kroll. Kroll for Krinos. Now inside for Mahachek. Mahachek misses. And Zach Leah pushes for Chaska now. Leah takes it in. Gives off for Coleman. Coleman a tray. No. Loose ball. Here comes Raspberry. He's got James up ahead. James catches. Goes up and can't get that one to fall either, but the ball is tapped right back to Raspberry. Now Mahacek will get a holding call here before the shot went up, I believe, with 5:32 left.
Well, at the beginning of the game, I was talking about those little things, rebounding, keeping possessions alive, and that's the third time here in the second half that Spencer Getz is either rebounded the ball or tipped it out and kept the ball alive a little bit. So it's good to see heads-up plays like that from a guy like that, sophomore, right? Yeah.
Yep. Machacek catches at the top. Now back over to Raspberry. 5.5 left. Gonna be a barn burner as we close out the final 5:20. That one's going the other way. Machacek got called for walking. Modest crowd tonight. Chaska, probably a better showing Saturday afternoon than they have tonight, but the Chaska students all out in their jerseys again tonight. 5:13 to go. Nicholson at the top for Getz now. Now over to Coleman. Nicholson was streaking. Didn't get it. Here's Krinos on the outside. Now back over for Getz. Coleman. Entry pass for Nicholson, who goes against Machacek now. Nicholson shut down there. Zach Leah pulls it out. Can't hit. Right to Nicholson though. Nicholson kicks for Krinos. Throws it errantly though.
Wish we had the numbers, but the three-point shooting here in the second half's really doomed Chaska. My best guess, one of 9, 1 of 10, something like that. They need to hit one here quick to get them going.
If I remember correctly, they were 29% from beyond the arc on Saturday. So their struggles continuing here into this Tuesday night game. Timeout Paul Getz. It'll be a full timeout for the Eastview Lightning. We will go to break. When we come back, we've got 4:42 left. In a nail-biter, you're watching Hawks basketball.
GSH Asset Management is a proud sponsor of the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. Based in the heart of Chaska, GSH is your one-stop shop for all of your wealth management needs. Visit us online at gshassetmanagement.com or call today at 952-556-1311. GSH Asset Management, building strategies for your financial future.
There's a better.
And we are back from Chaska High School. Hope you've enjoyed this Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network live stream. I'm Ryan Paul, coming to you live from Chaska High School, joined by Chaska Herald sports reporter Eric Krauscher. Always appreciate his presence on the broadcast. Follow him on Twitter at Chaska Sport. Make sure you check out his great work in your local newspaper if you're in the Chaska, Chanhassen metro area. Jalen James back on the floor. 4.5 left. His pocket is picked, but Ben Coleman's whistled for a foul. What do you think? Toss up.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a better look at it than me.
Yeah. Probably
He
the best way to put
saw
it.
something. Wasn't much, but
Horn sounds as we are in the bonus now for Eastview, so we'll be shooting free throws the rest of the way. It'll be Jalen James shooting the 1+. First free throw is good, so he'll get another one.
when you got a dad who's been a college coach for many years, how many free throws this kid's probably taken in his life?
Oh, yeah. Jalen's dad, the head coach at Concordia St. Paul. And he goes 2 for 2 from the line. 58-42. Or 58-52. Nicholson for 3. Chaska unable to find anything from beyond the arc tonight. 4:10 left. Coming down to the wire here on the GSH Asset Management Broadcast Network. Glad you've joined us. Here's Machacek. Machacek outside for James now at the top. Guarded by Coleman. They swing it back over for Kroll. Kroll sets a screen as Jalen James rolls off. James throws up a prayer, and Zach Leah grabs the loose ball. Nicholson pushes ahead now. Nicholson crosses, goes against Crowell. Inside, and a push-off going to be called against Stephen Crowell. 1-1. Nope, 2 shots for Cole Nicholson.
We haven't talked about in this broadcast the new arc underneath the basket.
Yep.
Have you seen anything in the first game yet? Nothing.
I have not, and there's been a lot of talk about the shot clock. It's highly disputed, but I think personally I would like to see a shot clock, and the restricted area, it doesn't do much for me. I mean, I don't think it's going to impact any games at all. But we come here, you see it's blue tape on the floor. You go to Chan, it's black tape. It's just you just wonder, what. There've been some odd rules this year. We talked about the rolling of the shorts in the first broadcast of the year, as James misses a 3, but Raspberry goes back around and was fouled. As I was saying, the MSHSL making some rule changes in boys basketball. You can't roll your shorts anymore. Was talking to Chris Brown, one of their officials tonight, prior to the game about that, when he said 2 main reasons. One was because of advertising. The clothing manufacturers were starting to put their brand on the inside of the shorts, and the MSHSL didn't like that. And then the strings that are on the inside of the shorts were becoming exposed and would cause tie-ups. So there's your reasoning for that one. Calvin Wishart, if you're watching, I'm sure you have something to say about that down in Georgia. Hawks students heckling Raspberry as he stands at the free throw line, looking at his second one. 3:28 left. He spins the ball in his hand. The left-handed free throw is up and through. 59-53. Hawks trying to avoid their first loss this season, as are the Lightning. Both teams 1-0. Both teams won games handily on Saturday afternoon. Zach Leah rolls off a Nicholson screen. Throws it away right to Jalen James, though. Couple of turnovers in the second half that could be costly for Chaska. Raspberry through the legs, murdered by Zach Leah. Yeah, Zach's not going to like that call, but it was, in fact, a hack.
It's a foul.
Nine fouls on Chaska, 10 on Eastview, so we'll be shooting 2 free throws at any next foul. First free throw, the 1-and-1 is no good. Chaska comes away. 3:05 left. Creno's going to be at the helm for this possession. Hawks need a bucket.
Yep.
Leah at the volleyball line. Gives it over for Nicholson. Nicholson takes it in. Throws it over to Creno's in the corner. A 3. It's good. Just what they needed. A Connor Creno's stray ball from the corner. 3-point game. Hawks are going to apply some pressure. The Hawks fans are going to get into it. Creno's takes a charge. Dana Coleman is livid about the no call. Jalen James in the corner. Makes Spencer Getz jump. Shoots a 3. No good, but Matichek's there to put it back. Dana Coleman in the ear of the official on the far side about that last no call. 2:30 left. 61-56. Leah crosses the timeline. Calls out the shots. He's picked up there by Scales. Scales tried to tap it away. Leah gets it back. Here comes Zach Leah back into the corner for Creno's. He stutters. Tried to get it to Coleman, and a foul going to be called against Caden Scales. He's not happy, and he's going to get teed up for that. You betcha. Emotions of a high schooler, one might say.
Yeah, and you let them be frustrated, but when you do slap the scorer's table, that you gotta call, you gotta get the game under control. You don't like it because, man, it was a bang. He was very, very close to getting that steal.
Yep. So Ben Coleman will shoot the technical free throws. That one's not even close.
And this is something that Chaska really struggled with at times last year. Last couple years.
Yes, I was going to say. 1 for 2.
You make all 4 of these free throws, it's a 1-point game. Now you still got 2 free throws here, but plus possession.
Now they're going to give Nicholson
and 2 free throws.
The ball. Will they refill the lane after this one?
So Coleman Coleman was given the 2 free throws for the foul.
Okay.
This is the technical.
This is the technical foul.
Plus Chaska gets the ball.
So what happened is Ben Coleman just shot those 2 free throws, went 1 for 2 as he was shooting the double bonus for the reaching foul, and now Cole Nicholson goes 2 for 2 for the technical foul free throws. And now Chaska gets the ball back right in front of us. It'll be Ben Coleman inbounding it for Chaska. Caden Scales just picked up the technical foul for slapping the scorer's table, sits. Paul Getz was not very pleased with the actions of the junior. Krinos for 3, hand in his face. Just off. Nicholson getting held as he was going for the rebound. Wanted a call. Under 2 minutes left. 61-59. Raspberry spins around, gives it for Crowell. Crowell couldn't handle it. Here comes Chaska with a chance to take the lead. Nicholson stops up. Looking for an option. Nicholson against Crowell, one-on-one. Nicholson steps inside. Throws it up. It's no good. Nicholson looks like he might have injured his leg. Right leg, it looks like. Might have came down awkwardly.
Cramp.
Oh, you got it, yep.
He's sat for 40 seconds this game.
Yeah. 91 seconds left. We're going to go to break one more time. It's a barn burner from Chaska High School. You're watching CHBN.
GSH Asset Management is a proud sponsor of the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. Based in the heart of Chaska, GSH is your one-stop shop for all of your wealth management needs. Visit us online at gshassetmanagement.com or call today at 952-556-1311. GSH Asset Management, building strategies for your financial future.
There's a better, brighter day ahead for patients who visit St. Francis Rehabilitative Services. Our wide-ranging, innovative, and compassionate care offers adults and children the services and support that inspire them to a higher quality of life. Among our services is our comprehensive sports medicine program, specializing in preventing, diagnosing, and treating sports-related injuries, helping you return to the activities that fuel your passion. St. Francis Rehabilitative Services, with clinic locations in Chaska, Shakopee, and Savage.
And we're back from Chaska High School. Glad you've joined us for the last minute and 31 seconds on the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. Eastview working left to right. We go under 90 seconds. Jalen James has it. Gives it over for Tate Monchacek. Monchacek at the top, guarded by Spencer Getz. Zach Leah applying pressure against Scales. Now James has it at the top. Back to Monchacek. 1:13 left. Here's Raspberry. Raspberry goes in. Can't get it to drop. Nicholson the rebound. 1:05 left. Here comes Chaska. 2-point game. 61-59. 1 minute remaining. 1 minute in the second half. Could we see overtime brewing, or will we have a winner? We're going to find out. Nicholson goes in. Foul. Tries to spin it in. Can't get it to fall. 52 2/10 left. Nicholson 2 free throws ahead.
And this is the point where you got to get your legs into these free throws. You're tired. It's the end of the game. Take your time.
Nicholson 2 free throws here. First one up and good. 1-point game. Second of 2 for Nicholson. A chance to tie with this one from the charity stripe. Up and good. Tie game. Timeout on the floor. Dana Coleman wants a break. It's a full timeout. I said we were done, but we're going to take one more commercial break. We'll be right back. You're watching high school basketball.
GSH Asset Management is a proud sponsor of the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. Based in the heart of Chaska, GSH is your one-stop shop for all of your wealth management needs. Visit us online at gshassetmanagement.com or call today at 952-556-1311. GSH Asset Management, building strategies for your financial future.
There's a better, brighter day ahead for patients who visit St. Francis Rehabilitative Services. Our wide-ranging, innovative, and compassionate care offers adults and children the services and support that inspire them to a higher quality of life. Among our services is our comprehensive sports medicine program, specializing in preventing, diagnosing, and treating sports-related injuries, helping you return to the activities that fuel your passion. St. Francis Rehabilitative Services, with clinic locations in Chaska.
52 and 2/10 left. You're watching CHBN. I'm Ryan Paul, joined to my right by Eric Krauscher, sports editor of the Chaska Herald. It's a 61-61 tie. We've got 40 seconds left. Eastview has it. Jalen James enters. His pocket was picked, and Zach Leah has it now. Leah's going to try to run it out. 34 ticks left. Crosses the timeline. Comes over. Ben Coleman has it. He's guarded by James. Now Nicholson at the top. 28 seconds left. Nicholson looks for it. Leah comes across now. 18 remains. All square at 61. Leah with 7. 5, 4. Nicholson stripped. 2 seconds left. Machacek with 1. James for the win. No. Bonus basketball from Chaska High School. Hawks had a look. Nicholson was stripped as he went up with time running down. James let one go at the buzzer, but it wasn't meant to be, and we are going to watch some extra basketball, all tied up at 61. Eric, after 2 17-minute periods, we've got a little more coming our way. What are you looking for?
18 minutes. 18 minutes.
I'm in hockey mode. I'm in hockey mode.
You know, I think as you get late in the game like that, you forget what has gotten to that point.
Yep.
Eastview just ignored their big guy the last 5 minutes of the game. I think you get a reset button right here.
Yep.
You're Eastview, you're going back down low to him, working it through him. That opened up a lot of things for them midway through that second half. If you're Chaska, the way the shooting's going right now, you got to get to the free throw line.
Yep, and you got to make them.
And I would like, just like I said at the beginning of the second half, this first play, you're doing something for Zach Leah. He's had great looks at the basket. He's converted. So I think that's where you go for both teams, is back to what's worked in this game.
You got that right. And we'll play a 4-minute overtime period. We'll jump it up again. Funny that we mentioned the 3 overtime game that we had last year between Hawks and Orono, which Orono ended up winning. Hopefully we can get a different outcome tonight, but we got 4 minutes left here.
I was exhausted watching
overtime
that game.
number 1. Oh, you weren't the only one. It'll be Nicholson against Crowell. They'll be going the same way. Chaska working right to left. Eastview working left to right. Nicholson can't win it. Jalen James catches off the Stephen Crowell tip. 3:56 here. Just underway in overtime from Chaska High School. Ryan Paul and Eric Krauscher with you on the GSH Asset Management Broadcast Network. And 11 seconds into the overtime period, it's a and one opportunity for the junior Ryan Thyssen.
Yeah, in Eastview's offensive sets, they move a lot. They do a lot of screening, a lot of stuff. Got to open up that lane, and so good start for Eastview.
Can't complete the three-point play. Jumps for the rebound. 3:45 to go. Gets off for Nicholson. He rolls off a screen. Nicholson backs down, going against Machacek now. Nicholson inside the paint, goes up. Looked like there was a foul. No whistle though. Man, Cole Nicholson can't get a call. 3.5 left.
His arms are not straight up. I mean, that is a legitimate foul.
Eastview gets away with one. Chaska's fans showing their displeasure. A 2-point lead for the Lightning. Here's Jalen James. Crowell getting locked down by Nicholson inside. Now back off for Scales. Scales had that technical foul earlier for slapping the scorer's table before we went to overtime. Now James back across for Thyssen. Thyssen at the top, face guarded by Zach Leah. Returns it for Scales. Machacek James in the corner. Drives against Coleman. Stops up short. Looks for an option. Finds it off for Machacek. 2:48 left. Overtime number 1 from Chaska High School. Now James drives inside. Gives it off for Scales. Scales kicks into the corner. Thisson for 3. Good. 5-point run all from Ryan Thisson in this first overtime. 66-61 Eastview. Timeout on the floor. Dana Coleman needs to chat about it. 2:30 left, Eric. 5 straight points from Ryan Thisson off of the layup. Missed the free throw and then hits a wide open corner 3A. Good offensive possession there from Eastview to start off this overtime.
It's ball movement, and you get the drive. Nobody steps into it to take the charge. They both jump up to try to block. Leaves the wide open guy. Eastview came into it, like I said, hit that reset button. They've gotten back to what's worked for them. But on the other end, Cole Nicholson's obviously frustrated. He's had a tough game shooting. He is not getting a call, and I always say a big guy has a harder time getting a call. In today's game, you've got to work extra hard for it for some reason. He hasn't gotten many calls tonight, but he's also going up against 2 bigs right now.
Right.
Not only is he trying to fight through Mikolajczyk, he's also you got the big guy underneath the basket for all.
Yep.
So I think that's altering his shot a lot too.
And I've noticed that in the 3 and 4 years that I've watched Cole Nicholson, he's always been one that just struggled to get fouls. And I'm sure I've watched him a lot more than I've watched other big guys, but you're right on that point that big guys just in today's game they're not getting many calls down low. They've really got to work for those points. 2.5 left. We're 90 seconds into overtime. Carino's going to inbound. He finds Leah out of the Chaska timeout. They're out of timeouts. Chaska would get the next jump if they get it. Not if Connor Carino's can make threes. It's a 2-point game. Hawks are going to press.
That's the second time he's hit one from that corner. Nice pick from Spencer Getz to give him just a little bit of room.
Thisson drives ahead. Almost had his pocket picked. Looked like a carry. Drives in. And the 7th point of this overtime period. Zach Lee is going to pull up quickly and hit it. Here we go. Chaska down by 1. Under 2 minutes left.
That's a shot. You better make it, or coach.
1:51 left. Leah applying pressure on Thisson in the backcourt. Now they get away. Here comes Scales now. He's picked up by Krinos. Krinos going to face guard Scales. 1:38 left. First overtime from Chaska High School on the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. Machacek at the top. Have not seen much of Isaac Raspberry in overtime. Actually haven't seen any of him. The only senior on the Eastview lineup. Here's Scales over for Kroll on the outside. All near turnover, and Jalen James stepped over and back. No, a timeout from Paul Getz before Jalen James stepped over and back, I believe is what happened. I don't even know what the referee, yes, it's a full timeout called by Paul Getz. He's still yapping at the officials for something.
The push, he
thought it was a foul.
He thinks Krinos pushed him. There was a little body contact, but hey, on a loose ball like that, in a physical game here, you're just not going to see that.
Chaska and their fans wanted over and back before the timeout. I think it's probably the right call in the end, as the timeout was given to Paul Getz and Eastview. It's a 1-point contest here between the Hawks and the Lightning. Chaska's second game of the year, as well as Eastview's second game of the year, goes into added time. Hawks' next game, as I mentioned, will be a very, very good one Thursday night. Hope you'll join us. We will have our first doubleheader of the season on the CHPN. Taylor Hansen, who does the production next to me right now, will be live from, where are you guys on Thursday night? Rosemount. Boys hockey takes on Rosemount. I imagine that's pretty good for you, yeah?
9 minutes.
9-minute drive from Eric's hometown of Egan, or his residence in Egan. And I'll be back here on Thursday night with Jared Martinson of the North Star Hoops Report, bringing you live coverage of Section 2-4A foes, Hawks against the Prior Lake Lakers.
Make sure that cameraman at the hockey game gets a picture of my son, 5-year-old son Connor, and I.
All right.
7 o'clock game. I'm going to bring him for a period.
Heck yeah. $1:14 to go in this one. It's a 1-point Eastview lead right in front of us. Ryan Thyssen inbounds. He gets it in for Scales. Jalen James along the sideline for Crowell. 63 seconds left. Here's Thyssen. They hold a 1-point lead. Chaska fouls with exactly 60 seconds left. They're going to get Krinos.
Leah.
Check that. Exactly it. Ryan Thyssen. Thyssen has all 7 of the points in this Eastview, or in the overtime period for this Eastview team. Gonna try to extend on that lead now. It's Loud. Thyssen's first free throw is up and good. The Eastview fans gonna have their say at the Chaska students. It's now up to a 2-point game, 69-67. Second one good, 3-point game, 70-67. Leah across the timeline. Krinos being held as he streaks across. Now Nicholson going against Kroll. Nicholson beats him, spins it in for 2. 1-point game. Hawks going to apply some pressure. Leah going to hack. Scales. Scales looked like he might have thrown an elbow, but it was probably the right call. The foul is called on Leah, and free throws ahead for Caden Scales, a 6'1 junior for Eastview.
Well, Cole did a good job of recognizing who was on him 20 feet away from the basket. Kroll was on him for the first time in a long time, and so he attacked the hoop. His speed is going to be Kroll's speed.
Scales for 1, it's good, and he'll have one more opportunity. Both teams in the double penalty, 10 fouls at least committed by either squad as we are in overtime. Two for 2, back to a 3-point differential. 43-6 left. Zach Leah going to bring it up for Chaska. Eastview doing a good job of protecting the arc. Nicholson. Leah. Screen. Zach Leah takes it in. Floater, it's short, but he was fouled. 31 and a half. Zach Leah, 2 free throws.
Kroll didn't, there was no, I didn't do it. He knew.
That's on me. And Zach Leah will go back to the free throw line. We'll see Luke Strazzanti check in after the first free throw.
Now you're going to see a shooter. Leah's got 4 fouls, so.
Oh, yeah. Come in, bring Luke Strazzanti in to do some fouling as they will need to. Best case scenario for Chaska, they go down 1, and Zach Leah's free throw is good, and he will exit for the defensive purposes of Luke Strazzanti coming into the game. 1-point lead for Eastview. They have an inbound pass. Jalen James gets it in. They foul him. It'll be Ben Coleman picking up this foul. 30 and 3/10 left.
Thinking of business, we call this extending the game. You know, free throws in today's game. Oh, that's 5 fouls on Coleman.
So Dana Coleman's going to take his 15 seconds and talk things over with his team. Jalen James awaits 2 free throws. With 30 seconds left, we will see Ben Coleman check out, and they will end up bringing Zach Leah back in. So Leah got, I think, maybe a third of a second of of game time on the bench before he checks back in. Going to be a long 30 seconds. The game went by relatively quick in the first half. It took us 33 minutes of daytime to get through that first half, and now we're almost an hour and a half past the original start time. James short on the second free throw. 29 seconds in running. Here come the Hawks. Chaska's Connor Krinos, the senior, brings it up across the timeline. He's picked up by Thyssen. Now Zach Leah, the sophomore, or Zach Leah, the junior. Nicholson across the outside. Here comes Krinos with 16 left. Timeout on the floor. Dana Coleman going to call a timeout. They don't show any timeouts left, but they might have added some back as we headed into overtime. Dana Coleman's going to call a full timeout. And with 15 seconds left, we're going to get some advertisement time in. We'll be right back. You're watching Hawks.
GSH Asset Management is a proud sponsor of the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. Based in the heart of Chaska, GSH is your one-stop shop for all of your wealth management needs. Visit us online at gshassetmanagement.com or call today at 952-556-1311. GSH Asset Management, building strategies for your financial future.
There's a better...
Turn from Chaska High School. Eric Krauscher. I'm Ryan Paul. You're watching the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. We're in the overtime period with 15 and a half left. Chaska students rise to their feet. Connor Krinos will stand in front of him, a smile on his face. He'll get ready to inbound it. Krinos looking for an option. He gives it off for Leah in the backcourt. Leah holds up for Krinos. Nicholson gonna pull it, and it's long. Krinos the offensive rebound. He's gonna shoot it with 5 seconds left. It's no good. Getz gets a rebound. Getz gonna have to throw it up. Strazzani for the win, and it's no good! It went all the way in and trickled out. Oh, what heartbreak for Chaska. Oh, it was halfway through the hoop. Luke Strazzani was eyeing down a game winner. Nobody can believe it. Wow! Eastview gets away with a 2-point victory over Chaska.
That counts for a point and a half, though, right?
It's got to.
Not enough.
That's right. Chaska's 71-point performance is not enough tonight. As Eastview downs the Hawks 73-71, the Hawks fall to 1-1 on the season. Eastview will advance to 2-0. Wow.
You know, it's a loss, but I liked how Chaska came together there. That second part of that second half, they got back to what works for them. They're not going to shoot the ball that poorly many nights, but they somehow still were in that game, even though they weren't hitting many outside shots. So it's one of those things that you try to take positives from a loss.
It'll be interesting to see the shooting percentages, because I know the first game Dana Coleman was not too happy with that, and I can't imagine that it's going to be one of the stronger portions of practice tomorrow. I'm guessing they're going to work a lot on that shooting. For Eric Krauscher tonight, Taylor Hansen on the production, Krauscher on the commentary, Andrew Newman on the camera. I'm Ryan Paul saying so long from Chaska High School tonight. The Hawks fall in a heartbreaker. We'll see you on Thursday night for CHBN's first doubleheader of the year. Basketball is right back here with Prior Lake coming to town. Myself and Jared Martinson will be on the call for that one, and then Taylor Hansen will be coming to you live from Rosemount for boys hockey. That's all on Thursday, right back here on the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. Hawks fall this evening in a nail-biter. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a good night. Soar Hawks.
Here it is.